All men are not created equal, at least not in this world. The disparity and imbalance of power, purely because of the birth of someone else, is what makes it so. Even though, with that thought, how the power is used, the intellect, which creates someone truly great. While intellect itself makes a great hero, nothing is stronger than confidence. Belief in your own ability can decide the fate of a battle in an instant. It is important to train your mind as well as your body. But to some, the battle of the mind is the hardest struggle of them all. We pan a camera into a nice home, in a fairly good neighborhood, of a character, his father and his mother all sitting at a table eating breakfast. And if you would like, Rib, could you describe your character and tell me his name?
Well, my character's name is Sagaku Infirma. Wait, are we 14? What age are we in this?
I think it was 16.
16?
Nuclear correctly,
Right.
It's 16.
16. Right then. Well, yeah, he's 16 years old, with a family of a father, a detective, and a mother who is a hero. He has blonde hair, orange eyes, and his quirk is a math-based one. He can alter certain aspects of the world around him with his maths.
Bro really does quick maths for real.
He does quick maths, and, well, that's all he thinks he can do.
And tell me if I say it wrong, but just let me know if I do say it wrong. And his father, a Reckner Infirma?
Wait, Rackner.
Reckner? Okay.
Reckner. Yeah, Reckner.
Reckner. Alright, and you see as he has... How did we describe his character last time? Was it like his eyes were like digits?
His eyes were somewhat like the background of a calculator.
Okay, yeah.
Like kind of
like,
grayed out.
Grayed out. You'd notice he has like
Like
a suitcase
the
next to
iris.
him. He's wearing this kind
No,
of
not
like
the iris.
like what? Oh, would they have like the zero outs in the iris of his eyes? Like the zeros, like how there are in calculators.
Yeah, but I was more talking about the sclera, like the white part of the eye. That's gray.
It's
like
gray.
That's like the calculator gray.
Or like the gray green or whatever the calculator would be. Yeah. Okay.
You know what I mean.
Yeah. So he'd be wearing like a white sort of dress shirt with a tie. You see he's wearing these like brown slacks, and these brown like dress shoes. You'd notice his big like kind of coat that he wears that has like the popped up collar. It's the typical detective sort of coat.
The detective look.
And then he has like his fedora hanging on the seat that he is sitting on. And then on the opposite side would be your mom. She wouldn't be in costume right now. I'm guessing she would just be in like a typical shirt and like jeans or whatever.
Yeah, just casual. We're just at home.
Her name is it Kurak?
It's Quark.
Quark. Oh, Quark. Okay, so like Quark.
Yeah.
Quark. Which would she have anything like really distinct looking about her to tell her quirk, or would she just kind of?
She would be a bit more normal looking than my father. Nothing really too visually distinct to immediately tell.
Right, okay. So your father would just kind of be eating, and your mother would just look over at you and she'd be like, well, are you excited for your last day? You would know that like this is probably the last day of your you go to a preparatory school, so like really fancy, high up kind of, because both your parents are pretty well off and have good.
The wording on that, I was expecting to hear, "Yo, you ready for your first day?"
No. Because I'd say this is like the last one before you go into summer, and then next school year.
I mean, I suppose I'm ready for the last day. I mean, next year will be something to look forward to.
I bet it will. So one thing we hadn't talked about. With me and your father's background, we already know that you got accepted. Though, I wanted to ask, did you want to... And then your father would interject. Whoa, I thought we would be having this discussion together. She's trying to ask if you're going to go and take that dumb exam to see if you, whatever. I don't really understand why, since he's already in. And then your mother would look at him and she'd go, well, to make some friends, to figure out, who you're gonna be sitting and have in class with you. I'd assume that's something you would like to do.
You just see his eyes dart between his mother and father and just saying, well, there's not really any harm in doing it, I suppose.
See? And then your father just goes back to eating his food. And your mother would look, she's like, well, you have time, and you can always come to me in my agency, and we can train you. You get a bit of a head start on all your peers.
I'll be alright, Mom. Thank you, though. I mean, wouldn't really be fair to have a head start on them, would it?
Fair? Who said anything about fair? You're trying to become a hero, right? That's a constant fight for the top spot. You don't have time to think about fair.
He just kind of looks down at his food as he continues to eat it.
And then you would hear a little buzzing, and your mom would look over. You see she's wearing a watch. She's like, oh, I gotta go. And then she leans over to you, kisses your head, and then walks over to your father and does the same. And then she just kind of leaves out. But before she exits the door, she's like, have a good day. I'll see you later. And then she just kind of dashes out. And then you just kind of are sitting there with your father, still eating breakfast.
So, Dad, how's things going over at work? The whole detective thing.
They're pretty slow. Couple cases of something minor. Really haven't looked into it yet. Doesn't matter. I didn't think it would interest you. Does he know if you're a really into problem solving and into mysteries and stuff?
He has taught me a few little bits of detectiveness.
Okay.
A few things here and there.
So then roll an insight check, because you are. I just want you to roll an insight check.
Hold on. What the hell was insight? There it is. Well, that didn't matter.
Alright, what'd you roll? Oh, nat 20? He's not telling you the whole truth. Actually, he's kind of trying to keep it simmered down, because he understands how much you'll dig into it, and it's obviously not a child's place, or at least someone of your age.
So I get that feeling, and I understand it, because, it's work, business, and detectiveness. Not a lot of things that just normal people of the public should know.
Yeah. I said afterwards, he'd finish eating. He's like, so am I taking you, or are you walking, or what?
I'll make my own way there.
Let me know when you get there. And you would know you have a phone to, send him a text or whatever. And I guess, what do you just get ready and then you just start walking?
Yeah, I'd get ready and just start making my way to the school.
I'd say it'd take you in 30 minutes to an hour maybe, and you'd be earlier on time. I won't say you have to rush, because you've probably done this a few times. Just knowing how your family dichotomy is and what goes on day to day.
Yeah.
And you make it into class. Honestly, it seems really boring today. You kind of tune most of it out since there's no real work. Though I will say, during one of your kind of later classes, you're almost out. I need you to roll a perception check.
Perception. What do I have to? Oh.
So like I was saying, the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell, and an 8? Eesh, yikes. You would all feel a rumble.
+6 doesn't matter when you get a damn 2.
You'd feel a rumble from the entire school, and things would fall over off desks. You see the teacher stop and just look, and then kids start to all kind of run out of the window. You don't exactly know what's happening.
So school is shaking. Kids are running to the window.
Yeah.
I feel I'd do the same thing in this. I feel like I would at least want to see what's going on.
Okay. You would see, since you kind of rolled low on perception, you'd see this sort of like tornado twister, and then beside it this like giant, clearly like some sort of villain, and you'd recognize. Actually, roll. What do we have history, right? Is there? I don't think there is history actually.
Like a history check?
Yeah, there's no history check.
Would that just be like insight?
I guess just insight. We'll do that for like history. So roll insight. So you have a +6 in it apparently.
I have a +6
oh
in
my
like
gosh.
a lot of...
Okay. So you got a 21. You would know this hero immediately as as Twister, one of like a pro hero. I guess this kind of means you're a fanboy because you would know a lot about heroes innately. So you know this is Twister, a very popular hero among people.
I'd say it's more like just kind of go, oh yeah, it's him.
And his quirk is like he can create like forces in high pressure air in certain areas of his body and allows him to fly and shoot
and create twisters.
Yeah, pretty much. You'd see him sort of like floating back up from like an alleyway, and in an instant almost you see him just kind of this gust of air as he like dashes, and you see this giant just get taken out in like seemingly one blow to you. And you would notice he was carrying something, but you don't know exactly what with your perception roll. And you see like some of the students like leaving out early to go out and see. I would say it's like a block away. Like this whole thing happened like a block away from you, so it wasn't that far.
It wasn't any closer, otherwise the school might have been twisted.
Someone like when you say that, someone just looks at you. Why would you say that?
Well, I mean, I'm just saying.
You're such a downer, Infirma. Come on, let's go see the hero. Like, wouldn't you be happy about this? Aren't you going into a hero course or something?
Yeah, forget it.
So do you
just
like
start walking?
Oh, okay. You just why can
just
I imagine
start walking towards the location?
All these kids are like are like running around and like rushing to get out and see and like go see what happened, and you're just like walking. Eventually you do make it outside, and again there's just like a whole bunch of kids like running out to see what's happened, what's going on. If you want to go over there, you can.
He would definitely make his way over there just to, again, observe.
So as you do, you don't even have to roll a perception check for this. You get a text from your father saying like, "Are you okay?" And it's like how we like. It's not in full words. It's just the letter R and then the U and then okay.
I just text back saying, yeah, alright.
And
nothing bad happened here.
As soon as you like look up, you see him at the sort of scene, and you see this huge like crater down the street where it happened, and like a whole bunch of police and taping everything off. And you see him like kind of like in the scene of the crime, like just kind of like looking at stuff and picking stuff up, and he has a couple bags, and stuff is getting like crossed off, and a lot of people are restricted into the area or like out of the area, you know, like police are kind of like standing by. There are like the little blockers.
Yeah.
But yeah, you see your father, he's just kind of doing his job.
Yeah, you see me father just doing detective work.
Would you want to like look at it at all, or are you like interested?
I mean,
or you
of
just
course.
Like, yeah.
I just kind of figured that I was already looking at it.
Oh no, I was gonna
because I'm seeing him and I'm seeing him doing stuff with it.
If you want to know exactly what he's doing, I'll say you can roll perception, or you can roll insight.
You want? I'm wanting to give perception a run back.
Bro said I'm gonna run that one back. I am not rolling a 2 again.
I refuse. I'm not going down as an insightful, non-perceptive dumbass.
17? 17, you'd see him like packaging up some of like a tiny sample of this like purple ooze, and like he's being really careful not to touch it. And as soon as he does, he kind of starts packing up and goes talking with a couple of the officers. And another thing you would see is this kid. Give me 1 second. You see with black hair, and he's kind of like in a uniform as well, but you can tell he's from a different school. You see him just kind of mad dash like in like the general direction
Of the detectives
of the
police.
crater, like of the big crater. And he kind of like jumps over it and then like keeps running.
I look at this kid you said? Like
Yeah.
Same age as us?
So it's around the same age as you.
Similar age? I just look at him and I'm thinking, what is that Pillock doing?
Also, how tall would you say in Sagaku is?
Oh, I had his height based off of... Wait a minute. Does this height still work?
Therefore, I'll have to translate it into...
Probably not.
If you don't have one
yeah,
immediately,
kinda.
I was gonna say you could just make one up on the
I was gonna
fly.
do like 1.6 meters.
1.6 meters. All right, time to do the American thing and figure out how much that is. So that would be about 5'2". 5'3", because we're gonna round up 5'3". So it'd be 5'3". So this kid you see running would actually be a little taller than you.
I see.
Yeah, but you just kind of see him running and rushing off. So there are two things you can do. You can follow this kid, or you can go see what your dad is up to.
I don't think that the kid running off to the crater is a good idea. And I know that he's gonna get in trouble, so I'm just not gonna follow him. I'm just gonna talk to me dad.
Listen, I'm not about that. I'm not helping him. He is good.
Just like this kid, he's running off. He can dig his own grave.
Fair. All right. You kind of walk over to your father. He doesn't look too surprised to see you. He does crack a slight smile that you are okay. How was school?
Yeah, it was not too exciting, I suppose. Says with a little bit of a sly smirk on his face.
I bet. If you want, you can stay with me until late. I gotta stay late. This case has gotten a bit more interesting than I first let you on about earlier today.
What? So I guess you could say the case has gotten a bit larger.
Yeah.
He's indicating to the giant.
You don't quit your day job.
Who has a day job?
Anyway, come on. And he like motions you, and he's walking back over to one of the cars.
Obviously, I follow him.
So as soon as you do, and you like get into the get in, you see a TV on the back seat of the car. He's like, I have one up here. I've seen it already, but you're smart. Tell me what happened. And you see the little TV on the back seat of the chair that like so basically your father is in the front seat and you're not in the side. You're in the back seat, and
okay,
you are on like the back right.
And on like the headrest of the back seat, there's a monitor.
Pretty much.
Okay.
It kind of like folds out though, and then it expands a little bit. It gets a little closer to you.
Okay.
And you'd see from a couple different angles some security cameras coming up, and of different angles of what had happened. So I'm gonna need you to roll a perception check +5. So add what you get normally plus a +5.
Well, I can say this: I'm not failing this roll. Oh my god!
That is, ironically.
I said it with such I needed to roll like 5 or lower to potentially fail this, and I rolled 3. I
gosh.
hate my life.
I
had +11!
Dude, you know you could use your quirk for this, right?
I'm not gonna use my quirk for this. I have +11 and I failed. I'm not using my quirk out of shame.
Okay, well, you sort of see Twister, and then you see this kid. So you remember when I told you that thing? He was like carrying something, but you couldn't tell what it was. No, not your father.
the kid.
The like superhero.
Oh, okay.
Twister. You notice that attacking this giant before the Twister gets there is this white-haired kid. You don't really get much of him. The cameras aren't too helpful. You just kind of see him also attacking the giant, and he looks to be like similar to your age. Again, wearing these school clothes, attacking this, and then as you see, like, Twister comes in and does a finishing blow since the kid, obviously isn't strong enough to just beat this thing outright. And then you see the Twister kind of pick him up and then fly off. But as far as like the purple liquid or the villain, you can't really get much off of the cameras.
When you say to look out for something, did you mean that kid who was there?
No, not the kid. I meant, and he like shows you the little bag. This stuff, whatever it is, it's dangerous. I was wondering if I missed something, but you didn't see it either.
No, I could see.
We got this off of him when we finally, were able to contain him when he shrunk down. You see that this little vial, and it has like a little bit left of this purple liquid. It's like, we haven't put it through forensics yet, obviously, but whatever, his quirk wasn't gigantification. It was some sort of enhancement to make him look like other animals. So whatever this is, again, it's not good. We haven't found anything like this legally. It's some aftermarket, something new, something someone just made and started selling. And then he just kind of puts it away. Come on, I'm gonna take you to the lab for a bit, and, drop you off back home. Like I said, this is gonna be a long night.
I'll make sure to let Mom know.
He kind of just, sort of drives. He takes you into the lab. You hear a lot of, talking. This is not your first time having been there. And I'll say you can't really get too much information off of like just being here. You can roll if you want. I'll just tell you now there's not much to learn because he keeps most of this stuff kind of secretive, and they don't even give him enough information anyway. And you notice he's getting like super busy and kind of forgets to start taking you home when it gets really late. So are you gonna stay the night, or are you just walking back?
I guess I'll just leave my dad to his business, leave him to his work, and I'll make my way home.
All right. I'd say on your way home, it's dark now.
I'll just leave him a little message just saying I'm heading on my way home.
Okay.
Just so he doesn't worry.
I need you to roll me another perception check with +10, because it will be impossible to miss or fail this.
You say that, I'm gonna roll a nat 1.
Even if you do,
19.
That's +10 +6. That would be 17. You would not be. Yeah, that's not even possible to fail. So you, while you're walking,
I would find a way.
While you're walking, you see this kid again, like the one you saw last time jump into the crater, running in the direction of a hospital. and he has this like ripped up jacket, ripped pants, kind of tattered clothing, and he looks kind of suspicious. So I'm gonna need you to highlight one of your flaws. What is a big flaw that Sagaku has, Rib?
He is
What's
very inquisitive in nature. If something piques his interest and he goes, hang on, what's that about?
So again, you
He'll
notice
try
this
to
kid
pursue it.
who ran into the scene of the crime. You know that now there's some aftermarket like quirk enhancer going on, and he's running to again where you would know to be a hospital in
Yeah.
that general area.
He follows him.
I would say roll stealth, but he just does not. He does not notice you. He seems like he's doing like he's rushing there. You can tell he's tired. You hear panting. He just he just seems out of it for whatever reason. And I'll say you follow him all the way up until he gets to this parking lot, which I assume you don't like follow him in. You like kind of hang tied.
Yeah, of course. I just kind of follow him at a distance.
You'd see him meet up with this character. You see he has this kind of like bright hair, bright eyes. It's kind of similar to yours, but like a lot more sun. Like his face just kind of looks bright, but the rest of him looks kind of deep and dark. He's wearing this hoodie and all this dark clothing, and you see them talking for a bit, and you see him pull out this same vial, but it's full of that liquid, and you see him kind of like holding it out, like throwing it up in the air, flipping it in his hand. The kid tries to go for it, and he clenches his fist before he can grab it, and the kid just is grabbing his fist now, and they're staring at each other.
So what Sagaku's doing is he's just eyeing the situation. He's trying to remember as much of the face as he can, because he is gonna tell his dad about this.
Right. I'd say though he like turns around, the guy pulls his hand away, gives him this like list, and then the kid sort of takes the list, turns around, starts walking, and you see he stops like dead in his tracks, and he crumples up the list and he throws it away, and he turns around and he looks like he's kind of shouting at the guy, and you see him like stuff the vial back in his pocket and just start, and the kid, you see him like kind of walk off in your direction. He doesn't see you, but he's just kind of leaving. And I want you to roll me a perception check. This time just, with your normal modifiers.
The flat perception check. There we go.
You see as that orange-haired guy, he sort of just kind of bursts off in this quiet but like very potent sort of like atomic kind of like light blast, and he just kind of like disappears. And you see the kid like turn around and see that he's completely gone. Before just starting to leave.
And with that, he starts making Sagaku starts making his own way out of the building and starts to continue on his way home with this information in his head, this little encounter that he's had
and
with the vial and the two individuals.
I would say you're almost home. This will probably be the last one I'll have you do, hopefully. Roll me one last perception check.
Damn, I need to be quite perceptive.
Oh, you would notice a little bit of that orange hair around one of the corners. The same guy you just saw talking to that kid, and he walks up to you. Hey. Noticed you were around.
Did you see his eyes widen a bit?
And he just kind of slowly walking up towards you.
So I kind of cut you off when you were saying something before.
Oh no! All he said is like, "What'd you see?"
I guess saw enough. The vial.
He's starting to get really close to you, and his hands are still in his pockets. Well, you wouldn't happen to know what any of that was, right? I don't have to worry about you going and telling anybody.
He's just kind of... Well, so he's very nervous in this situation, but he eases his nerves and just says, "Me? No, I wouldn't tell anyone. Not this."
Great. I'm gonna need you to roll... What is it? Roll me a persuasion... persuasion check. Or no, deception, not persuasion, deception.
Oh, thank God. Damn it!
What is that? Oh, so he just sort of looks at you.
I have gotten a 2, a 3, and a 1!
he just kind of looks over at you, and he's just kind of staring. And then
Like,
he just...
Sagaku just closes his eyes. He just goes, "I could have said that a lot better." He's just like thinking that in his head, just like, "I could have said this."
I don't know, man. You seem a little off. You scared? And he slowly is just keep encroaching until I say he's about like 5 feet in front of you, and he stops. What do you want? What's your angle?
I don't have an angle.
And I would like you to roll initiative.
Oh, fuck. Hold my initiative. Where's my initiative? Where is it? Yeah, I've actually lost where initiative is.
I was about to get cooked.
Oh, wait, what was initiative based off?
It relies on agility.
Okay. And for the first time this session, my base is a 0. Oh, for God's sake.
What did you roll? Give me one
Well,
second.
if these rolls are anything to go on the actual campaign, this is going to be fun.
What's his agility? Oh, well, hey. Look, all I'm saying is that maybe you'll be okay, because I'm just gonna...
He is not rolling in that one.
I don't know. 20 not natural.
Yep, that sounds about right.
All right.
I roll a 2, he rolls a 19. Yep, I'm cooked.
You see him sort of, again, he's like very close. He takes his hand out of his pocket, and he sort of just like, his palm is full of this like orangish, like whitish energy, and he sort of just tries to like stuff it right in your face. And give me 1 second. So
he takes a 1 and tries to stuff it in my face?
So you see his hand, it glows with this like orange white light, and it's kind of like you see something sort of radiating off of it, and he's just gonna try to stuff it in your face.
I just blasted at me?
Pretty much, yeah. So this would be a physical attack, so you'll have to roll your... Actually, no, since he's shooting at you, I'll say roll dodge, and I'll roll, to hit.
Okay, so roll dodge.
21, and he rolls... And, oh, okay, he rolled pretty bad. So, you see, he tries to, like, kind of, again, stuff this sort of, like, thing in your face. And since he aims straight for your face and he's so close, and he kind of walked up on you, you telegraphed he was going to have to do something after he found out you basically lied. And, you kind of just dodge out of the way. But you do feel the heat radiate off of the blast of where it was going to blast you. Damn. Hey, sit still. Gotta make sure you don't talk.
He just, like, puts a hand to his face, feels the heat, and just goes...
So now it's your turn. What are you gonna do?
Good question. What the fuck do I do?
Hey, man. What do you do?
Damn, it sucks when you can't actually fight.
Well, if you can't fight, I mean, he's like the only other option.
Well, there is one thing in adrenaline: the fight and flight response.
And if you can't fight...
Yeah, I'm gonna fly.
was about to say he's gonna run. If you're trying to run, I'll say if we could probably turn this into a chase. So what I usually do during chase scenes is, since we have a stat for it now, I would have you roll I believe it'd be stamina or agility. So whichever you'd like to roll.
Which is best, stamina or agility? Stamina's better, so I guess I'll do stamina.
And then I'll calculate it by however many, by 5 he loses to you. That's how like behind he is.
What if he wins?
Then he's going to get closer, and if he wins a couple times, he'll overtake you.
Oh god.
So I'll roll for him.
Oh god.
Oh, well, that's just bad. So you sort of like take off, right? You take off running. Do you run towards where your house would be, or are you running just away from him? Because he's like in the way of where you are, where you were going.
Yeah, so I'm just trying to run away from him. Because I know running to my house, bad idea.
Okay. So you kind of like just turn around and just run, and he kind of, it seems like he expected that to happen, because now he's like running and you feel him. You know, you ever were playing tag and like you're running and you know someone's behind you, but they're not there yet, but
yes,
you know they're behind you? That's the kind of feeling you have right now. Like, you know he's behind you, but he hasn't caught you yet.
I am just bolting it for my life.
Alright, well, if you don't do anything specifically, I'll just need you to roll another one.
Doesn't do anything yet. Oh, god damn it.
Oh no. A 3! Okay.
I'm cooked, aren't I? Please don't roll like a 20. Am I kidding?
2 away. He rolled 2 away from a 20.
I hate my move.
Oh. Why do I imagine him saying that as he's getting chased? He's like in the midst of the chase, he's just like, I hate my life. But yeah, you'd be he's like over
one thing
you.
For it.
He's like right behind you.
Oh, he's like,
and you feel this heat on your back. I'm gonna need you to roll dodge one more time.
What was my dodge roll? Okay, cool. Hey, Dice, I know we don't get along, we haven't gotten along too well this session, but can you not let me get cooked?
Literally.
My man, my Dice. Oh god damn it.
Okay, so we do have a rule that like we put in place in the other sessions, which was meets it, beats it. And I forgot who decided, like, who wanted that to be a thing, but I said, be careful, this is gonna like really screw all of you over in the later, in like in the,
it was Hoff, wasn't it?
I think it was.
I'm going to strangle him if I get out of this.
Oh my gosh. Alright, well, he is going... Okay. So, that is a DC 15 check. You need to roll your toughness. So, roll a D20 plus your toughness.
Okay. D20 plus toughness.
18? Okay, that passes. You sort of like... You feel the fire, and it's enough to kind of push you to... keep running like faster. Like, you know, if you get hit by this, you know what the quirk does. Your body just kind of kicks into that more like flight aspect thing, and you don't take any damage.
Well, time to shift into maximum overflight.
Alright, roll me another stamina.
Hey,
or
I did. Hey, no, you didn't let me finish yet.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, I'm just gonna try and... Getting hit by this quirk made me realize, okay, maybe I need to use mine. So I take out my little notebook, I take out my little pen, and I just kind of, increase my velocity. Wait, I have, like... I can multiply here. Can I just, like, double my velocity?
Double your velocity. Okay.
I don't know what that would do.
So okay, what I'll do for that, what we'll do for your quirk is you'll tell me what you're trying to do, and whenever that roll it has to be made, we'll apply the math to that roll.
Okay.
So go ahead and roll your stamina or your agility.
And then add my math number on top of it?
Yep.
For the sake of this, I feel like it makes more sense to do agility over stamina, so I'll do... Oh, for God's sake.
Okay, 14. He rolls a 17, but you get to add your math number because you're adding it to your velocity.
I did.
Oh. Yikes. So you again, you take out your paper pencil, you sort of write up this equation, you see these numbers sort of float around you, and you start to just speed up slowly. But the problem is you hear a bit of blast noises behind you, and you take a tiny look back, and you notice he has both of his hands behind him, and he's sort of just kind of gliding behind you. Not to you, he's still a little bit away from you, but he is right behind you.
Oh no, he's using air shoes.
Air shoes. And I'm gonna need you to roll a perception check. I lied, it was not the last one.
Thank you.
You're in the chase.
Perception, here we go! Okay.
You're approaching a dead end rapidly, and if you don't figure something out, he's gonna catch you.
Are there any side alleys to the left or right, or no?
With 16, I'd say you see a couple. See a couple from houses that'll lead to other streets. But again, you'll be in this very constricted space alley. So you can take one of there's one to your there's two to your right, one to your left, and then there's just a dead end.
Or dead end. Okay, so what he does is Sugaku swerves to the right before immediately bolting to the one on the left.
Oh, he's trying to juke him.
Yes.
Okay. How would I even roll that? Do I just say he gets? I'm gonna say he gets.
Is it just kind of
I'm gonna say he gets with that kind of big brain.
Would it be a deception roll?
You know what? Yeah, it would. Do you want to roll it? Because I honestly was just gonna roll that he just kind of does get juked because he doesn't expect you to have the move.
I mean, if you're gonna give me something, I'm not gonna say no.
Because what if you roll terrible?
Exactly. Well, I mean, from this little session alone, we've seen my rolls.
All right. Well, you see, you kind of just juke him, and he flings. So wait, did you say you juked right and went left, or the vice versa?
I swerved right and then bolted left.
Okay, so you see him just kind of swerve right, almost going into that first alleyway, but then you go left, and he loses a lot of distance on you because you're still running again with this you've modified yourself to this quirk. And you're moving. So
good, I'm moving.
I'll say roll one more stamina or agility roll.
This one we're gonna have stamina used because we saw what were they.
Woo, okay. So you're just going, you're moving. And you just kind of you're looking back, you're not fully paying attention, and you just kind of bump into you look up again, you see this kind of bluish gray suit with twisters on the bottom, twister designs on the bottom with the shoes and with the outfit itself. And you'd look up and you'd see it's Twister, the hero you saw earlier.
He's just looking up. His eyes are just he is frightened.
You'd see that he's not even looking down at you. He's looking.
He's not
up.
frightened of Twister. He's frightened of just the scenario.
Yeah. And you see Twister sort of raises his hand slowly, and you feel this sort of gust of air from over there. It doesn't blow you away, but you definitely feel the after effect, and you hear a blast, and you hear it connect, but that's about it. He just sort of bends down and looks at you, and he's like, "Are you all right? You good? You okay?"
Yeah, okay.
All right.
He is just panting a bit because That's
it's
the
never
most he's
worked
ever
out.
had to run in his
I was
life.
gonna say that's the most he's ever ran in his entire life. He's dying.
Not dying, but just like deep, jagged breaths.
what brings you out here so late?
I was walking home.
Well, let's get you home. And you just see he sort of like puts a hand down to like get you up.
I just grab his hand and just like pull myself up with it.
Any particular reason you had that chase there? And he helps you up, and then you're just kind of walking with him now.
I think I saw something he didn't want me to see.
Oh. If you don't mind, when we do make it to your home, I would like to speak with your parents, if that's okay.
Yeah, sure.
And you sort of just, again, you're walking with him. You make it home, go to the door. I'd assume you have a key, or like there'd be one of the rug or something. Yeah. You kind of open and unlock the door, and no one is home. Yeah, your mom's apparently still out, and so is your father, so no one is home. And I wouldn't say this would be like a too big of like a thing or a shock to you. Like, it's happened a couple times, so you're a little used to it.
He just kind of walks in, shouts for mum, and just goes, "Oh, she must be having another late day too."
Are both your parents out?
Seems to be the case.
Well, I assume you wouldn't mind if I stayed with you until they return?
Knowing those two, that could be a fair while.
Well, I don't have any other hero business to attend to unless this thing goes off, and he like shows you this little watch band, and you'd notice it's the same kind of designed one that your mother has.
I guess, sure.
Alright. And he just kind of sits down in one of the chairs near the table. And what do you do? 'Cause you're home now. Like, you're home free, man. You made it.
I am home. He doesn't exactly want to tell this what he saw to Twister. Not because he doesn't trust Twister, because he knows this is the case that his dad's working.
Yeah.
And he feels his dad would be able to do more with that information.
Exactly. Okay. Alright, that makes sense. I'm guessing you just you stay, watch him, you go to your room, make some food or something.
I guess I would ask him if he wanted like anything to drink.
Something like water. Yeah, water would be fine. Yeah.
Okay then. I just go to the fridge, pull out 2 bottles of water, one for him, one for me.
And as you hand him one, you see kind of like you set it down, you see he like uses his cork to like pick it up and like fly it to his mouth, and then like uncap the thing and then drink some water, and then he sets it back down.
Meanwhile, I take it off with my hands and drink it.
That was really brave of you, A lot of kids would be scared in this situation. Would have died. I hope you know that.
Well, I'm glad I didn't die.
I would hope so.
He's saying that, and in his mind it's just like, that was bravery? I was not. I don't know. I was being brave there, mate.
I'm not gonna lie, son. Like, I was being a bit of a coward, just running. No.
I ran for my life.
Literally. Well, if you don't want to talk about it, you could at least describe the guy chasing you, so I can put it down in a report. Maybe get a search party for him.
And, well, I do give a description, because you said he was just kind of lightened face.
I was gonna say he had this kind of like, your hair is blonde. His was like kind of this white, orangish, just like very light. But everything else he was wearing was completely black and dark. Like, he was wearing a black hoodie, jeans, his kind of pants, and he had his hands like mostly in his pockets, but you know, again, he had that sort of like light kind of heat radiated quirk.
Yeah, well, I was going to say also I would describe the quirk because that can be helpful.
Yeah. And after he just was nodding. He's like, okay. Not the first time we've heard of this guy, but it has been a while.
It isn't?
Yeah. It was a while ago on some different charges, but it's weird. It's just strange. Strange is all. Would your parents come back anytime soon, or would it be really a late night, or?
I feel that his mother would get back sooner than his dad, judging by how much work the dad had to do.
So after a couple hours, you know, of you relaxing, probably like just, you know, sitting down, processing what just happened to you, you'd hear the door open, and she'd look and she'd go, "Oh, what are you doing here?"
Hey, Mom.
She was not like looking at you at first, but then she does, and she's like, "What happened? Why is he here? How was school good?"
Oh, school was fine. Yeah, it was a bit of a run-in with someone on the way home. So,
weren't you with your father earlier?
I was, and he had a bit to do, so he's gonna be home a bit later.
Oh, what did I tell you about staying out late? You know it can get dangerous.
I mean, you weren't wrong there.
Just imagine if he wasn't there. Twister, I really appreciate it. Thank you. And he just nods and he's like, "Yeah, don't worry. I just happened to be in the area after what happened earlier." Oh yeah, we need to talk about that as well. Regardless, I'll speak with you later. Go to your room.
Okay. He just slowly makes his way up to his room.
I'd say as soon as you get there, you hear a bit of like talking, but not not anything super important. Though if you do want to listen in, I'll have you go ahead and roll that perception. Be that inquisitive, perceptive.
He's inquisitive. If he hears something, he wants to know just a bit more.
Ooh, okay, that's really good. So you'd hear the name get thrown around. Abachiki Asura. You hear that name? Like, but in a motherly tone, as if she's like scolding someone. And then you'd hear about UA, but not much else. And then you'd hear her again profusely sort of thanking, and then you'd hear the door close.
Okay, and with that, he just kind of... Because I'm guessing Abachiki Asura is Twister's name.
Yeah, you would assume so. Because he's, again, the only person in here. So why else would she say that?
And he just makes his way to his room.
I'd say your father probably doesn't make it home before you fall asleep. I honestly, you probably wouldn't sleep too well, if I'm being honest. It'd still take a while for you to go, but it definitely wouldn't be easy or well. But as soon as you...
Because there are things that are still in his mind.
Yeah.
Specifically, the feeling of the radiation of the quirk, the feeling of actually getting hit by the quirk.
And one thing that... which was...
Yeah. And 2 lines from both Twister and his mother. From his mother being, if he wasn't there. And from Twister being, you could have died.
I don't know why, but You know that song that plays when Deku finds out he can't get a quirk? Where he's like crying and he's pointing at the computer screen?
He's not crying.
He is.
No, I meant my character in this
No,
situation.
I'm not saying you're crying. I'm saying Deku.
I know what you mean,
from
though.
that scene. I don't know why, but I imagine that song is playing right now. He's like in his room or in his bed or wherever he would be right now.
Probably lying down in his bed.
Kind of just you'd be like going through everything that happened today. The people you saw, the things that happened, all the evidence from your father, all of the, people you seen, the shady deal with the kid. You remember all of what he looks like down to the T. Almost dying. That
yeah,
over
was a fun
everything.
Experience.
And I'd say you do slowly, kind of fade off. And you'd wake
slowly into sleep.
You'd wake up, not immediately, but slowly, and you'd hear a lot of arguing, a lot of yelling. I don't know if you'd want to listen into it, but you do hear about a lot of yelling, and you're pretty groggy and sore.
His eyes just open up. He hears this, and he's just no.
No. The most based answer to parents arguing I've ever.
Inquisition is important to me, but right now sleep is ever so slightly more.
So I'd say they'd be kind of at ends for the next few weeks. You'd start your summer. Does he do anything to train or practice throughout the summer? Is there anything he does, or is it just?
Well, first thing he does in the morning is he's told his dad about what he saw.
So, what happened? You're probably sitting in his office or at the table just talking.
Well, when we were at the school, before I talked to you, I saw this kid running towards the crash site, I guess.
And to give you a description of this kid, he had really torn,
dark hair.
Black hair.
Black hair, torn up clothes.
And he had gray eyes.
Oh.
Very important detail to distinguish him. He had gray eyes. You tell him, I'd assume you tell him about the deal that you think he made.
I mean, he would say and when I was walking back home from work, I saw him again entering this building, and I got curious. So I followed him in, and I saw him exchanging of another vial that you had, but a full one. A vial full of that purple liquid.
You see his eyes start slowly widening. You can see the gray from the where the white would be in his eyes, and you can see the little digits they go from zeros to ones. He's just everything you tell him, just his expression gets more and more shook.
And I saw this exchange happen, and which way was the vial going? Was it going from the kid with the black hair to the guy with
it was going from the guy to the kid, but the kid never got it.
Okay. But the transaction didn't go through properly. The kid didn't actually get the vial from this guy. So, the guy with the pale hair, he left. And then I exited out before the black kid with the black hair could see me. And I was making my way home, and I saw the other guy with the pale hair, and he asked me what I saw. He knew I was there. And then he just kind of started chasing me. And I ran, and Twister came, and he was there, and he kind of blasted this kid away.
Yeah, no, but he would just like kind of stand up afterwards. I'm going out. Like I said, I have more work to do. Your mom's off today, so she'll be home all day. I'll see you both later. And he just kind of again he leaves out. And it's just quiet. You kind of just. It feels a little odd and awkward, but it's just quiet.
I feel like I would just be running through what happened in my head just a lot of times.
I feel like he'd make notes, like, of the situation.
Oh, definitely.
Like bullet points.
He's running through what happened, and he's just taking some notes down.
And I'd say in the middle of it, you hear, "Hey, hey," and then you see your mom just like snapping at you. Yeah, she's like, "Hey,
yeah, sorry.
Backyard outside now."
Okay. He says, just standing up and just walking over the backyard, not knowing why.
What clothes would he be wearing right now?
I'd say pretty casual clothes, just like some like gray joggy bottoms. Maybe like a blue just shirt. I don't know, just casual wear.
You'd walk outside and you'd know that your mom does often like train and use her quirk a lot, you know, because she's a hero and she tries to keep up to date. So you'd know in the backyard you have like this kind of big mat, like this wooden sort of stage, and a whole bunch of different like equipment like to practice and train with. To make sure that never happens again, we're gonna start training you this summer, so that way when you apply or take the little exam, you're not caught off guard by any anything. So she again is just looking at you, and she's like, "Here's what we'll do first." And she kind of like walks you over to this robot, and you'd see it's very stationary. And she kind of moves you aside for a second, looks at it, hits a button on its chest, and it just its eyes glow. It activates, and then just starts throwing punches. It just starts throwing punches. At first, it starts out really slow and easy to dodge, and you see her dodging them, and then it starts to speed up, more human-like speed. They get more like precise, and she's still dodging and deflecting and just kind of overall, getting them out of the way. And then she eventually, after like about a minute, it's going really fast now. It's kind of hard for you to keep up. You see her dodging and blocking, and then she hits the button and it stops. We have equipment like this, old-fashioned stuff. She points to, in like Jackie Chan and like all those like karate type movies where they have like that wooden spinning mannequin. Yeah, pretty much. Like you see one of those. You see next to the wooden stage, you see a couple weapons, and stuff. We have all kinds of equipment here, and if you ever wanted to work out specifically, I have a gym at the agency, so I could always take you. But I want you to at least pick one thing and have it mastered by the end of the summer.
I'm trying to find like an image of what I imagine this thing looks like.
I don't know. For some reason, it makes me think of the thing from Ninjago, kind of.
That's what I was searching.
But yeah, that would be, she basically want to have you trained up and stuff. If you want, we can do like a short montage where we can just kind of skip to when he like the first day and then like some of the last days.
I mean, I don't really know what to even try to pick.
If you want, you can roll like a 1d6 3, and then the 3 options she listed, you can just take one of those.
Right, yeah, that works. Save.
2? Okay.
Looks like number 2.
So you know that wooden like statue thing that she said was old-fashioned that we were talking about?
Mm-hmm.
That's what you would have picked, or she would have picked for you, regardless of how it happened. And I'll say the first day, roll me a fighting check with a -2.
Oh, this is gonna be good.
Natural one. Serious?
But you've never seen that in D&D before. A negative roll.
So,
I got on that one with -4.
oh my gosh. So you basically like, you remember in Kung Fu Panda when he tried?
He takes one step and he just gets knocked on the head and flying 10 feet. He's going, "Carter!"
Like you throw a punch and then like the thing spins and just slides you away.
Like he just taps it and it spins at like 10 kilometers an hour.
And then you just hit a tree or something. Like, good try. You just keep at it. And I'd say like every day you'd come out and like practice. Though a lot of the times this would just be time for you to still be thinking. Like you'd be kind of like, I say a month in, you'd be more familiar with it, being able to use it more, and like just better at it.
And during this time, he starts to pick up another use for his quirk, the reflect thing that I have.
Yeah, so like basically sometimes when you would be getting attacked by the mannequin or like whatever, when you dodge, you'd see this kind of so how would you flavor the deflect? How do you wanna have it look?
Well, it's a bit different when it comes to this wooden mannequin. Because normally it's just like shifting the angle of something.
Yes. So what I would say,
but with a wooden mannequin, it's a bit stiff. You can't really like angle it up or down.
I was gonna say like it looked like you dodge, but for whatever reason, the mannequin.
It's more like my body's. It's more like my body's angles are just shifting.
Yeah. So like, it would like hit in. So you would hit it, dodge, and then the time would arise where you would deflect, and it would basically just be like the mannequin moves like you hit it again or you deflected yourself, but it was really your quirk activating.
Finally, Ultra Instinct.
I've achieved it. He's achieved it, hasn't he? Like your mom is just sitting there.
Piece of shit, and it's like you're fucking.
Your mom is watching like how Beerus was, and she's like grinning.
Hasn't he?
Oh my gosh!
It's just like fucking Stardust Saiyan Saga Gohan with Ultra Instinct.
Oh my gosh. And I'll say like at the end of the
he's
summer,
good. He can dodge.
He's good. Like he's really good at dodging. And what I'll say, because what is your parry? I'll say add.
It is my parry actually. It is. I think it's like a 0.
Add 2 ranks to your parry.
Wow, 2 ranks.
And add 1 rank to your fighting, which I know is negative. So add 1 rank to your fighting and 2 to your parry.
Finally, -1 fighting.
Because you literally trained the whole 3 months. Like you were practicing, you were training, honing yourself to do something you like never thought you could do otherwise.
And I would say, no, I don't want to do that just yet. Because one thing that happened in the last campaign, there were a lot of scenarios where I used my math, and it was just kind of like, I have no time to actually whip out my notebook.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of like, I do it instantly.
Yeah.
I want to try to do that a bit less here.
So like, not use it as much. Have it be like the quirk just sometimes can activate without it.
I want it to be like, well, because I've trained a lot with using deflect over the 3 months.
Yeah.
I would say at the start I had to use my notebook, and like for the first month and a half I did.
Yeah.
But throughout training, there were times where it's kicked in just by my eyes alone.
Yeah. So like you didn't have to like get the book and then like write something.
Or
It
like
was just
maybe like it kicked in just before I finished an equation on it.
yeah. And you're like, what? Like, is this?
Is this the power of Ultra Instinct?
But you know, you be training again, all of that, and then summer ends, and I'd say the day comes, you wake up really early, and you see your father sitting at the door waiting for you, and before you leave, your mother, she'd be like, wait, hey, stop. And
I turn around, I turn to look at her. Yeah, what's wrong?
She just hugs you like real tight. And if you would like, what do you know what his favorite color would be, or like image of it, what his costume would be?
I have no idea what his costume would look like. Probably should have thought of that sooner.
I mean, you'll have time. Honestly, I'll probably make it a class. That'd be funny.
But for his favorite color, teal.
Teal? Okay. So you'd see her just kind of hand you this like teal sort of jacket, and it'd have like, ironically, it'd have her agency's like signia on it. So it'd be like these like atoms, like and a neutron and all like all the little like dots and stuff on the back of it, and then it would have Infirma on the back, like in bold letters,
like a football jersey.
kind of like a football jersey, like, or any jersey really. But yeah, just basically like that. And she sort of hands it to you, and she's like, "You got this. All that training wasn't for nothing. Show them what you can do."
I just smile and give her a nod.
And then again, your father, he drives you this time. And I'll say, you know, he drops you off. He just kind of gives you this look, like, he doesn't say anything, but you know, it's like, again, he cracks a slight smirk, and he just, you know, looks at you, and you get the feeling like he knows you're gonna do good, and he's confident in you. Yeah, he pretty much believes in you, because he wouldn't have not noticed you training. Like, he knew it happened. But you kind of just walk out. You see the kind of stone road up the gates, and all these people walking up, you know. And that is where we're gonna end the session.